I'm just a lazy video gamer, even too lazy to make a new intro. Hello out there in Videoland, it's me again, the lazy video gamer. Let me start it right and straight directly. If you see this material, I was successful. In what? Yes, well, as you know, I'm a fan of the Mega CD. I'm a fan of the Saturn. I'm a fan of the, believe it or not, the VirtualBoy. This is this cheap plastic shelf from Nintendo, and I have it just in the hand here to make a better impact in my video. I have a consolizer at home already, a little small one purchased years ago over an American seller named Fingercramp. It's a decent thing, it's very cool, but it wasn't cheap. Nowadays the situation is a little bit different, and I organized myself repairing parts for my OG VirtualBoy, and I thought about to consolize it, because this in your living room looks a little bit cooler, in my opinion, than the small one. Okay, depends on which moment I'm thinking about, and that is also where the whole situation of this footage depends on. I thought just first I'd do on the reason one lens isn't working properly anymore. I just try and ask the UK seller of those cool repros I purchased. He is also repairing parts and modding parts in his shop. His name is, or of the shop is, VR32.UK, and I purchased from time to time there, and I thought it's sad that my OG VirtualBoy just lies in my glass vitrine and looks nice. Also nowadays you can have this thing that also looks nice from the distance, but it doesn't have a function, and the one in my vitrine also don't have a function anymore, because yeah, I have the consolizer and I mostly played it in 2D and rarely playing it on the Nintendo Switch with that thing. But I thought, when I wanna visiting somebody and want to talk about the VirtualBoy and show how cool the VirtualBoy actually was for back in the day. I know this is my opinion and many people say it's still crap, but I love it. And I then realized I never played Hyper Fighting or all those cool homebrews actually in 3D. I always played it on the consolizer. So maybe consolizing my OG VirtualBoy and try to repair it is a goal to achieve, and I could be proud of it if I do it. Just let me put that besides. Yeah, because you see it in the back. I have some caps. I have those purchased back in the years and modded. There are no original caps in the back. They are all modded, at least with buttons or marquee, and that is not an issue. That is not a problem. I can hold a screwdriver, I can use a driller, but I have a very nervous right hand, so soldering is my weakest point. if I can success in that. I did it. So, and I will do it. I will try it, but I need take the time for me as I need it. If I'm getting shaky, I will rest, and I don't want to do it in, let me say that, almost live segments. I will cut it down because I know it is boring to look at a guy with a ponytail who pulling out some pins and plugs from buttons. I did that already, and yeah, but I will talk about the steps that I do. So right now I'm waiting for the parts, and hope it isn't getting too hot up here in my hobby room till I'm finished. But so no, don't wondering if my t-shirt is shaking, is changing, my hair, my beard is more or less shown. That is what times bring it to the table. So I went downstairs, and yeah, my parts already are at home. You saw the flex ribbon cables, they are very and the bag with the VR tab in it. Also in the set with the VR tab is coming this screwdriver for Nintendo screws. I talked about those things before. They have very strange screws, and Sega had some others, has another size, but yeah. Now, as I said, it's a little bit a boring part to get the screws out. You see in the back a coffee mug, it's empty. Just keep in mind, if you want to do such a thing by yourself, to have several cups there or occasions to put in the different screws. Luckily the VirtualBoy has all the same screws, so I only had one opportunity to put the screws in and don't lose it. Yeah. Now I'm taking off this soft, the eye shades, trying to open it with yes, less screws removed as possible. But yeah, I had to remove almost all. But if you take out those screws for this for the cartridge slot and the telescope stand, that is not a big deal. Now the last screw will follow, and I take it apart, the two components. Yeah, I did a big mistake. I talked about ribbon cables, and I will show it to you later. They are really faulty, they are old and broken. My fault was that I just ripped it apart. As I mentioned, I thought about to try to repair it completely,
but yeah, there would be a lot of soldering, and yeah, I'm not good at that. I'm really bad at that, but even without this RGB or VGA out would work or will work, because yeah, you see it here now. They should look all the same, and they are very old and are defect. So if you would try it to repair it, you would need to solder, and yes, so when it comes to the VirtualBoy in general, the VirtualBoy was, as many consoles, never contemplated to live that long, so they used very cheap parts, and yeah, this is a weak spot, those flex cables. Because yeah, nobody back in the day thought that video games would mean so much to individuals like me, or maybe you as well. On the up connection, you can just put it in and out, but there are lenses on the sides, and on those they are just glued to it. That worked back in the day, but if you have some rests of this sticky tape they used on it, it won't work. So yeah, I messed it up already here for this part. I try here to figure out how should it work, because it was written in the description. This is a little sad part or point, that this VGA kit comes with a manual. In my opinion, if you're not stupid like I am, you don't need a manual to put this kind of VGA kit in. Right now I'm thinking about how should it work. I later watched some tutorials on YouTube, and I had no idea, because my VGA kit looks different. I put it together right now, just to have it. Now opening this little envelope, and take it out. It comes also with a flex cable already attached to this kit. The chip, the cable, that's the flex cable, the other ones for the RGB out, and the color palette shifter. As I said, our other cables looked different, or other VGA kits look different that I saw. So yeah, just let me put it to the side and think about where should I put it in. So after a little break, I talked about that with the YouTube tutorials that that didn't work for me. I was with mixed feelings, back on track. This are those LED platines where I had or would had to solder. So yeah, I already made the holes for the cables. As you can see, I'm already had it attached. The red lenses fold out, those plastic lenses. I put it just in, that no dust can go into the VirtualBoy. And for optics, of course, they're now useless because it is in that way. I did it only now a television variation of the console, so yeah, I messed that totally up. I had also a little bit of difficulty with the bigger hole for the RGB out to fit it in. I just put this flex cable there where the original one was. It doesn't matter on which side you place it. You have just to think about that. Where are your holes for the RGB or VGA out, and the button for the color shifter on a spot where it is not in the way of the holes to screw it back. So, and placed the virtual tab. I'm still not sure will it work or not. Try to show it to you. And wanna also mention I had to arrange where the cables were gone through, because this mod only brings the picture to the television. The music comes still from the VirtualBoy, so it wouldn't be a good idea to put it or have the cables on the volume wheel. So putting in a couple of screws that it holds it together for a field test. Also, I want to mention I messed it up with the RGB out plug, so it isn't straight in the right angle in it, and it looks kind of silly, but it works, and that is the most important thing. So this red blur is normal, happens every time, but the game runs, and you can hear the sound is coming from the VirtualBoy itself, and you will see it once or twice again, some mirroring effects in the tele, on the reason, yeah, I shot it, the footage at day, and yeah, had to darken the room with the curtains. I'm starting with Fishbone. It is a homebrew game where you have to eat the fishes. Also, I try, just for fun, the legendary Mario Kart demo, which is called Mario Kart Virtual Cup. I have to figure out which one is the gas or the acceleration, and yeah, maybe someday some homebrewers will making a bigger version of this demo. It has only the time trials on it, no opponents, no weapons, but I tried out for showing the different color palettes we're changing with every pressing of the button. So I'm very happy that it works. Like in the consoleized mini version that I already have at home. But I talked about that. I think the OG VirtualBoy looks a little bit cooler in the living room or besides the tele or monitor to show the people what it was about. And of course, hyper fighting. I can't miss that game out. It's, yeah, let me call it the pinnacle of the homebrew scenes. It is very glitchy between the levels, but it's the way it is, and it always comes back to the game. It's a very impressive part of the game, made from fans and not from Capcom, but it plays good, it looks amazing, and yeah, if you're interested in this game or to hear more about it, I had made a special about it a year ago, something like that. So or just wait till finish and I will edit as selectable video at the end. Once again, you see the mirroring in the back, and one of those games I'm really proud that I have it. It is called Soviet Union. Comes with a funny back story. It is basically, yeah, a simple space shooter, but very tricky in collision detection. So yeah. So yeah, I'm really glad that it worked. As you saw, it works fine. I have to live with this, let me call it once again, successful failure. I had in mind to also repair the flex cables, so I would or could play it in both ways, but I had first in mind to just consoleize my old VirtualBoy, and that was a success. Now I can keep my shady, cheap Nintendo Switch thing plastic up here, and the consoleized one in the living room, that everyone can see it. What amazing piece of junk the VirtualBoy was. Not really, cause I loved it. It just was. I'm just kidding. But for many people, it's a piece of not that great. Okay, let me call it that way. But now it's also the time to say thank you to I can't remember the name. It wasn't Sid. Raul or Paul from VR32.uk. He sells those parts, this virtual tab, and I was insecure at the time how to do that, how to put it in or connect, where do I have to connect, but I showed you it's easy that way, because he setting those things up for you with this bright flex cable, so no looting is necessary, and that makes it a lot easier and a lot better. Maybe you saw it in the video. At a certain time my right hand has this shaking, and yeah, I'm still don't know where it comes from, but I have that, and yeah, looting isn't my thing for that reason. But so it is very easy to put it in if you have a faulty or malfunctioning VirtualBoy at home and you think about that, to do that as well. I had to a little bit to wiggle with the RGB out, because yeah, I had also more luck than brain, because I placed it at a space where it actually fits and doesn't come in the way of other parts of the console, of the hardware itself. So I'm a very lucky man, and yeah, now I have only one thing to do: getting me a flash card and have the collection that I actually have also in the living room, and not only up here. And yeah, you know, maybe probably as well, this issue if you have two consoles of kind and you never know where is the game. But yeah, that's a complete other topic, you know, thing. But yeah, I'm really and pretty amazed that it worked. It was around 2 hours I needed for that, with opening and closing and drilling the hole for the color palette changer, and the other one I drilled 2 holes with a bigger driller and took down my traditional Swiss knife and cut it out in the way I want to have it, and I needed it, and it works. That is the best thing of today and of this operation. Maybe if someone would ask me, would you do that for me, I would be maybe a little bit quicker, but good things should need some time. Have a fantastic rest of day, a great week, and don't forget, the VirtualBoy is not dead.